pretty rattly, you know. It was doing its usual.
It's doing its thing. Hopefully, we can fix that. What's the hopes? It's just too hot in the summer. Ooh, more. Just too hot in the summer to go take this thing out. It's getting to be fall, starting to cool down. I think it's probably like in the 80s now instead of like 100. Get a new converter in there, go test her out. Cool. I'd like to change the solenoid, change all the wiring, honestly. Just get really heavy duty wiring because this isn't. Oh boy. Ah, feels so good to be working on the Jeep again. Steering here still looks really good from when I put it on before. Pretty happy with it. It works good. We're going to be doing some more upgrades. We're going to do some hydraulic assist in the future, and yeah, but course of action today is the old transmission right there. We'll pull that out and we're good to go. Alright guys, so we got the converter here. All I did was undo one bolt, so let's see if we can do this here. But it's, as you can see, freaking loose. It is hard to see on camera, but I'm thinking that the bolts might have been loose in here. So I'm going through, I'm gonna go find all the bolts, and then I'm gonna tighten this up and see if there's slack, because I only took one bolt out. Like, I think that the bolts were loose. I don't know though, I gotta figure it out, we'll see. I'm not sure though. So I got all the bolts out, and there's a lot of thread. Like, it's almost like the little thing that's supposed to go in the crankshaft and keep it like centered is non-existent. I don't know if it's supposed to in these or what, but I could do this even with all the bolts in it. Honestly, I could do that with the bolts in it, so something's messed up. So we got the transmission out. As you can see, that is not how it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be welded on there, and this is what centers it in the back of the crankshaft here. Put this in here, and that centers it, and so that's how it normally goes. Well, this was broke off, so the converter was just moving around. So we mic this, and we got a measurement, so I just want to make sure that it's the same on the new converter. So we're gonna unbox this converter that I bought, like, I think I bought it probably like 6 months ago. So we're gonna pull it out. I'm just using a Summit converter. So far, these converters from Summit have been pretty horrible, so I might as well keep using them.
Okay, buddy.
The nice thing about opening parts so late after you buy them is that if it's the wrong thing, you can't return it. I've never ordered the wrong parts before. Yeah. I'll use those. Well, this one's a little bigger in diameter than the old rat one, so it might not work. This one's like a thing to it. It's not like welding. It's like the same thing to me. Alright guys, so we got some converters here. Let me explain. That's the one that came out of the Jeep. So that centerpiece had broke off. So plan here. This is an off-road Jeep. We're not doing high speeds or nothing. I think I'm gonna put this on and I'm gonna weld it back on to the converter. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you don't like it, then build your own Jeep. Anyway, so this is a new converter I bought for the Jeep about 6 months ago, 6, 8 months ago. Obviously, probably not gonna be able to return that now. So this converter is out of the rat rod. So I did some calculations on the rat rod, and this thing slips a lot, like 40%. I did the math and everything. So what my plan is I'm gonna put, these are the same bolt patterns. This bolt pattern is supposed to be the same as that one, but that one is not the same bolt pattern as this one. So this is the one I bought for the Jeep, not gonna be able to use it. So what I'm gonna use this converter for is I'm gonna try it in the rat rod, see what happens. If it doesn't work good, we'll put this one back in because we're still doing good burnouts. But a lot of converters everywhere. But anyway, so we're gonna try and fix this one and put it back in the Jeep. All right guys, so I got that welded back on. Got little welds down here. That one's not so pretty. Don't look at that. That's fine. That's fine. But she ain't going nowhere. She's gonna be just all right. She ain't no high revving flute, nothing. She's just gonna be cruising in the old Jeep. I mean, can it really be worse than what it was? It wasn't even connected before. All right, everyone, everything went on good. So we're putting this back in the transmission and we're gonna jack the transmission back up, put it back together. Well, we got the transmission stabbed in there. This cross member that me and Dad built a long time ago sure made it nice to just unbolt that and kind of drop the transmission out real quick. Right now, Tanner is actually flaring those lines because it looked like we had some leaks there. So we're gonna flare those lines, put some new hose clamps on there, and we'll be good to go. But that new converter is way more solid in there now. There's not even any bolts in there, and it's way more solid than it was before. So very happy with that. So after Tanner got them flared, I put the hose clamps on, so hopefully we're good there. Probably zip tie them up out of the way somewhere so the drive line that comes through here doesn't rub on them, because they used to rub before. But we're good there. Zip tie this shifter cable off the exhaust. But other than that, like you can see now, that's how a torque converter is supposed to be. It's supposed to be solid. So 2 issues. The little centerpiece that we fixed was broke, and then the bolts bottomed out to the torque converter before they bottomed out against the flex plate. So they were tight, but they weren't hitting the flex plate. So what I did is I just put washers in there, and it's solid now. It's centered up in the crank very good. All the holes lined up, so I'm stoked. I guarantee we ain't gonna get any noise out of this thing. So we're just pop these drive lines back in and we can go drive this thing. Assembly's all finished. We're gonna start up and make sure she ain't got no back.
Just said, fuck you! Damn it! Oh, bogged her down deep.
Let it charge a little bit. Nah, we'll just go right to it.
Fixed! Fixed! Wow! No more clunky donkey! Nail! We fixed it! Smooth!
Need somebody to put it in drive?
Oh, check park. Check in park.
What?
Come on, Tanner. You know this. Battery's toast, dude. There we go. Good. Okay. All right, today's order of operations is to fix the old wiring on the Jeep. So we're just gonna redo everything up nice. The solenoid on the starter, you always have to hit it and tap it to get it to turn on. Sometimes it sticks, so the starter just sits there and goes even if it's running. So we're gonna replace battery connectors, put new ends on everything, new solenoid, and you might be wondering why I had jumper cables in there. Well, 1 gauge jumper cables, 25 feet long, is cheaper than just buying 25 feet of 1 gauge wire. So I just got the jumper cables, cut the little alligator things off on the end, and we're just gonna put on these little eyelets and everything. I got a bunch of these eyelets, Amazon special, you know, but a lot thicker wire than what we got. And it's not gonna be corroded. We might even have to end up redoing this battery, but that's where the old solenoid is. So yeah, might just end up redoing this battery, maybe even do 2 of them, who knows, just because we're gonna have so much electrical stuff on here. But yeah, we're just gonna redo all the wiring situation. So I cut these off. I'm gonna get my razor blade and cut back a little bit. So what we're gonna do is, we got my little connector here, and this goes in here just like this, nice and easy. So I'm gonna use this butane. We're going to heat it up, and we're gonna put some solder inside there, and then put that inside there, and then kaboom. All right, this one turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Hard to get it in focus, but these ends are turned out really good. I'm gonna put some heat shrink over them, it'll be really nice. Well, that's what it turned out with on the heat shrink. I think that looks pretty good, way better than what we had. So you guys can see, this is the situation we're sitting with the old solenoid. So this wire right here is definitely a lot smaller than the wire I'm putting in. So it's really beneficial. So I'm gonna make this cable right here, and I'm pretty much just gonna mimic this cable. And then, so this is the main power going to the solenoid, and then we'll run another main power wire from the solenoid all the way to the starter. But I'm just gonna take the solenoid off, and we're gonna be using another one. I almost took this apart. I was trying to put this on here, but I'm gonna pull the solenoid out, and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, so this is what we're doing right now. We're just kind of running this wire from the solenoid down here to where Tanner's at. We're gonna kind of tuck it up, get it out of the way. He's running it to the starter right now so we can get it a correct length. So that we'll cut it, and once we cut it, we'll put a new end on it, and we're good to go. So that's the length right there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead and try and pull her through. Okay. I already made this one, so this goes to the battery. I got that end on it. It goes to that, just like that. Super tight, good connections, all new, clean stuff. We're good to go. So something else that we're doing is we're running the old power wire that went to the starter, which is, I would say it's about a 4 gauge. This is like a 1 or 0. This is like a 4 or 6 gauge. And we're running that to the alternator, so the alternator has a thick wire to charge. Because before, we had one of these thin, dinky wires, so yeah, we're just kind of going through redoing everything. So once we get these power wires all done up, we will go and get the grounds all done. There we go. One. Damn OCD. Good to go. Just like that. Slap a heat shrink right over it. Like that. battery cable. It's good to me, huh?
Looks gorgeous.
There you go. All right, we now have this cable running to the starter. This one's gonna go to the battery, and then just gotta pull this trigger wire off here and put it on here, and we will have the whole solenoid system all ready to go. And we just gotta work on ground. Got her on the starter, Tanner. Almost. There you go. That's a nice wire that we're putting on there. Just gotta make sure that we tie it up out of the header, and we're good to go. We got that all finished up. I ran the negative right here. That goes straight into the frame, so that's a good negative there. New battery cables, new everything. So we're gonna go and try and crank it up and see what happens.
Wow. Hear how fast that thing cranked over? Dude, I don't think that thing's cranked over that fast. I wouldn't feel bad. I didn't even touch the gas when it started. No clump, no clatter. Sliding's honestly the best one. Yeah, baby. What makes you so happy? Oh yeah. There's some thick cables on there. Wow. 1310. That's loud. Noisy rock. You know, when that cranked over though?
I think that was the best it's ever been. It could have to do with this spliced together battery cable.
Just a bunch of old junk, and it was what it was. It's a wheeling rig, you know. She's just getting some love put into her. Pretty pumped about it. So yeah, jumper cable wire. That's all we use. 1 gauge. So after that. This is what final install turned out to be. Battery cable's here, everything's ready to go. We kind of vacuumed it out. Turned out really nice, vacuumed out the film there. It's still just an old Jeep, but had a bunch of dirt and everything. So we cleaned it all out, vacuumed it out. Got a little resto project. I think we're gonna try and really clean up the Jeep. We're just doing little stuff here and there though. That's how you get continuous progress. But anyway, I think we're all finished up with the battery. You guys saw how fast it cranked over. Pretty excited about that. Next thing we're going to tackle is this light bar. So we're going to try and mount it up here somewhere, but it'll be really nice to have at night. All right, guys, nothing crazy. We just did a little quick install. Just drilled 2 bolts right here. Ran this wire down right here to a weather pack seal. That way, because a lot of times if I'm doing crazy rock stuff and it's a fear I might flip over, I take this windshield frame off just because it is a little like hard to get or whatever. So I don't really mind breaking the glass, but because it's just flat glass, but this frame would be kind of a pain to try and source out and find if I was to break it. So a lot of times I just take it off. Super easy to take off. So when I go to take it off, it's kind of hard to do in one hand, but I'll just go like this and pop it apart just like that, and then I can take everything apart and go like that. But when you plug it back in, come on, baby. Yeah. Okay. Plug back in. Okay. And Tanner's gonna hit that switch right there. Boom, bright as shit. Look at that. Lights up. It's daytime. It's bright and everything up. We're gonna test this at night. See what badass.
It'll be fun.
But
Might take a mud tonight.
pretty awesome that we got freaking light bar. It's only been sitting in my parts room for 4 or 5 months. All right, gonna back this thing over into the yard and make a quick thumbnail real quick. But dang, that light bar looks good. I'm happy with the light bar. What do you think, Tanner?
That's awesome.
I'm just gonna light some stuff up. I'm excited to try it out tonight. See what it looks like. Here's a real cool thing though. How cool is that? It just starts right up. You guys don't know the struggle because I have been trying to start this thing, and every time I have to move it, I have to jump start it, bring the battery charger out, and it is starting to not work. That was zero jump start, zero anything. That was just straight up battery, started right away.
Pretty good.
Reflection on that power. Reflection on my haters.
Always flexing on the haters.
Alright, like 2-0. Alright, coming down.
Beautiful.
Colin, that's laying on the battery.
Hopefully it's on the negative side.
That's why we did it like that. That's why we did it like that. Pop a wheelie.
Frickin' child. Look how cool he is. He's so cool. Backing up his rig. So fast. Ka-chow. Can't have lightning without thunder. Ka-chigga. Ka-chigga. You're clear. Colin. You're clear. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. That's good.